So let's face it, an air purifier is probably not the top item on everybody's wish list, but until you actually try one, you don't know how effective they are. So in this video, well, I'm going to do just that. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm taking a look at probably the next gadget to go alongside your indoor air quality monitors that you've now got dotted around your smart home. That's right, it's an air purifier, and SwitchBot have kindly sent one out to me to be able to review on the channel. They haven't paid anything for that review. They have no editorial input into this review, and they are seeing it for the first time as and when you guys see it when it's released on the channel. So this is their new purifier table version that they've sent me. They have two versions, one with and without a table, and there is a cost difference on those. I'll touch on that later on, and really kind of like give you my thoughts on that overall. But first of all, let's just have a look at what you get in the box. Okay, so first thing to note, it's actually quite a large box that this air purifier arrives in. I wasn't really quite sure what size this was going to be. These air purifiers are all different sizes, from little tiny things that can fit on a tabletop to great big floor standing things. And well, this is kind of like in between, I guess, you know. So inside you get all your relevant leaflets and instruction booklets. You get your accessory pack, so you get kind of like a screwdriver and some screws, and you get the tabletop itself, and then the main item, which is the air purifier. Now, on the top of the air purifier, there is a little connection, an electrical connection, and the reason for that is obviously the features that are on the tabletop, but also the air purifier has an ambient light on it. So you put the tabletop onto the air purifier, connect up that little connection, straightforward itself, and then you've got to put in these two screws, one either side, and this is a real pain in the backside. SwitchBot, you know, if you can do anything about this in a version 2 of this design, then you know, definitely number one on the list for me. You know, you get a pack of screws, and you know, you get this, you know, a fairly decent screwdriver. You know, it's not a Christmas cracker screwdriver. You know, you get something fairly robust, but it could do with being magnetized to try and get these small screws into the channels that they've got to go in. Once you've got that done, then it's a case then of taking the back off, and really nice design feature there is that it's a magnetized back on it, so it just kind of like unclips and comes out, and then you take the wrapper off the filter on the inside, and then just pop it back in and put the back on it, and then that is pretty much ready to go then. Okay, so just before we get into the setup, we'll take a look at the specification of the air purifier. So it's got an airflow capacity of 236 cubic feet per minute, which is really at kind of like one of the top levels that I've noticed with regards to air purifiers. It's a 360-degree purification, so you've got, you know, that whole cleaning, you know, input of air and output of air as well. In terms of kind of like pet hair, SwitchBot claim 93.45 to be precise floating pet hair, and 98.18% clearance within 30 minutes. So, you know, if you do have that pet and, you know, you've got people who are allergic to the fur, this will do a pretty decent job at clearing that for you. It's got a HEPA filter, and obviously, you know, you can use it to clear up all your cooking smells and smoke, etc. It's got a built-in PM 2.5 sensor, and it's got multi-color ambient light, so you can actually have that go and you know, let you know what the air quality is like in the room based upon what that sensor is detecting. You've got pet mode, you've got sleep mode, you've got 3 regular modes on it. You've got your schedules, you've got timers, Really an awful lot of settings on there as well. You've got a built-in fragrance box, so if you want to add your favorite smellies, you can have that waft into the room whilst it's on. And this specific table version has a wireless phone charger, as well as kind of like your wireless earbuds. That's 15 watts fast charging for Android and 7.5 watts for Apple devices. So setting up the SwitchBot Air Purifier is simplicity in itself. Basically set it up in the room where you're going to use it, plug in the power, switch it on, and then in the SwitchBot app you click on the add a device and choose Air Purifier, and then it will ask you to just hold down the Wi-Fi button on the Air Purifier itself for a couple of seconds. It will connect to that. It will then ask you about your network, what network you want it to communicate on. It will then hook up the air purifier onto the network, and it will ask you what room it's in. And in my case, it then did a firmware update, which just took a few seconds, and then it was ready to go. It was really straightforward. Now, the SwitchBot Air Purifier has pretty much all the controls you're going to need on the front panel of the air purifier. So you've got your pet mode, your sleep mode, if you want to put it on for a timer, the different speed levels, things like that as well. So they're all there, clearly labeled on the front. Obviously, it wouldn't be a SwitchBot device if it didn't have good functionality in the app as well. So when you go in there, you are greeted with this big kind of like dial, which is the air quality in the room at this moment in time. And following that, then you've got kind of like the corresponding controls within the app, so you can just press all those buttons if you want to do that. You've also got things like being able to see the historical data for the air purifier as well. So if that interests you, that information is there. In the settings, you can do things like schedules. You can change how the ambient light works. So you can have it based upon air quality if you want to do that. You can set the different color options available as well. As I say, you've got schedules, etc. as well. So quite a bit of functionality for an air purifier. Now, we have a cat in the household, and there is a pet specific setting on the air purifier. And when I turn that on, our little bundle of fluff basically was asleep at the time, and he just kind of like looked up and well, that's different, and then went back asleep. So really didn't kind of disturb him in any way, really. So ideal from that point of view if you've got slightly nervous pets. Obviously, SwitchBot make various claims about how the air purifier is able to clear airborne fur and pet allergens, stuff like that. So it's ideal if you've got a pet in your household, or somebody is allergic to pet fur. Maybe you've got visitors coming over and you just pop that on before they arrive for 10 minutes. When I check the filter, because our cat really doesn't shed an awful lot of fur at this time of year, there wasn't a huge amount in there. It was a very small trace amount, but I'm sure that will build up a little bit more when it comes around to the winter months, when he really kind of like starts to shed fur. Now, another nice little touch on the purifier is the addition of a fragrance box. So you just kind of pop that out the side. It's just one of those little click-in type things, and you can put a few little drops on there. We tried this with some drops from some of the scents that we had at Christmas. That kind of like gave it that kind of like Christmassy type smell, and it's quite good. It does really blow that aroma around the room. I think you just got to be a little bit careful how much you put in. If you're normally used to adding quite a few drops onto these types of things, it really doesn't need that much because of how powerful it can be when it's kind of like pushing that air out around the room. But a nice thing to have if you want to certainly save money on things like air fresheners and stuff like that. Now, the SwitchBot Air Purifier does come in two versions. So obviously we've got this one with the wooden tabletop on it, and you get another one which doesn't have that tabletop. But it's not just any old tabletop, it does have a built-in wireless charger. So, you know, if you've got an Android device, it's like 15 watts charging, and if it's an Apple device, it's 7.5 watts charging. So a nice little touch to go and add something other than just having a basic tabletop on top of your air purifier. Now, I've been using the SwitchBot Air Purifier in my lounge for a little while now, and as I said at the top of the video, you don't really know what you're missing out on until you try a product like this. And well, you know, SwitchBot has some interesting claims for this product. They're definitely valid claims. You know, when I first set this thing up, within, you know, 20 minutes or something like that, you could actually tell that the air quality in the room was significantly better than what it was previously. You know, I wouldn't say that, you know, sitting there without this thing in there, that the air quality was particularly bad, but I did get a very genuine feeling of a lot fresher air in the room. You know, when you've got the app open and you can see the reading of what the you know, the PM 2.5 levels are from the air purifier, you can actually see it count down. You know, I think I've got a little clip on the screen here. You know, this isn't sped up at all. This is actually counting down as it is purifying the air. It really is impressive. Now, what I will caveat with this is that when you've got this thing on kind of like full blast type thing, or even, you know, medium, you do get cold air coming out. So, and you can feel that. So this, it would almost make a great air conditioner in the summer. But, you know, in winter time, in you know, as it is in the UK at the moment, it can be a bit cold. But, you know, that being said, even if you have it running on like sleep mode in your lounge, rather than using it at the bedside, it is still purifying the air. You don't really get that cold breeze. You know, it's super quiet, so you really don't know that it's actually on. And in terms of noise levels, you know, I've just got a little clip here. Unfortunately, you haven't actually got the sound of the purifier, but you can see the dB readings here. So, you know, I've got it on the different speed settings, and you know, then I switch to you know, the pet mode, and also onto the sleep mode as well. So sleep is super quiet. You really can't notice that it's running. Now, obviously, you know, you have things like the ambient light, which is good. So, you know, if you want this to only work and kind of like highlight when the air quality is poor, you can do, you know, you can just set it like that, so you don't really get the light coming on. But obviously, you know, you can set it into other modes as well if you want to. Now, in terms of Home Assistant integration, well, I've got it set up via Matter, and it is fairly limited at the moment, just to a basic on-off switch. Okay, so that is the SwitchBot Air Purifier table. What are my thoughts about this then? Well, this is the first air purifier device I've ever gone and used, and I have to say, you know, honestly, you know, this has been super impressive. You know, from first setting this up, within those first 10-15 minutes, that quality of air difference was so impressive. You know, it's so difficult to get this across on video without sounding like I'm gushing about the product. But you know, if you've never used one of these before, you know, as I said right at the top of the video, you don't know what you're missing out on. And you know, yeah, the price, you're looking at this, it's £300 for this version with the table. It's £240 with the version without the table. It sounds expensive. I thought that when I saw the price. I then went on Amazon and started looking at equivalent products. And once you've discounted the little tiny air purifiers, the ones without the you know, the appropriate filters, you know, the ones that can't clear you know, a decent sized room in a reasonable amount of time, you know, ones that have got smart functionality, you soon get to the same kind of price level. Add in the kind of, you know, smart functionality that SwitchBot have got on their ecosystem. You know, if you're into that ecosystem, this is an ideal purifier for you to add to that setup that you've got. You know, if you've got family or friends you know, that come round, and you know, maybe you've got a pet and you know, maybe they're you know, allergic to pet fur. This is ideal. But you know, even if you haven't and you want to have that really nice fresh air in your household, you know, even if you stick it, you know, kind of like by your kitchen, you know, your dining room or something like that, to remove all of those kinds of smells and cooking smells and things like that, you know, this just replaces it with really, really nice fresh you know, air that just is so much better for you on a day-to-day basis. I'm super impressed by this device from SwitchBot. You know, it's simple to use, it's effective, it's a really good quality product, and it's a really reasonable price for what you're getting. So there you go. That is my review of the SwitchBot Air Purifier table. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. You know, have you got an air purifier? How's that working for you? Would you want something like this? You know, does the table version make that much of a difference to you? You know, let me know your thoughts down below. If you've enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You know, it really does help with engagement on the video and the channel overall. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.